Good afternoon. I'm Karl Seelig, founder of ChainBLX. So, what ChainBLX is trying to accomplish, or on the way to accomplishing, we digitalize securities, we digitalize currency exchange, we form over this, our platform, a derivative builder, trading systems, and let ICOs and IPOs participate within this platform. Basically, we make the current market, stock market, derivative market, over-the-counter market, more efficient. I want to point just one thing out. We have extreme experience in building from scratch major systems, including also money transfer systems. And our team was the first team in telecom in the United States to accept cryptocurrencies. To our philosophy, there I just wanted to point out two things. Our philosophy is decentralized blockchain. For one reason, we think it's important to set up a system which is so proved, also when something would happen to the mother company, that the system would go ahead, be safe for the investors and the participants in the system. So we strictly believe in the decentralization. Also, our experience over the past 20 years taught us that a step-by-step implementation is necessary. This means we will not raise all the money in one ICO. We go over staged investments because investors have to see results, and results-driven development always outperforms other developments. So here are the steps which we foreseen. We start a news trading system, digitalized stock trading, digitalized foreign exchange, ICOs come in, and then the derivative building system. You see also that we go from first maintaining a centralized over the time to a fully decentralized system, which is necessary in the financial market because you have to be able to secure the transactions. Nothing would make somebody more angry than when something gets lost in the financial system. So to speak about this, it's the best thing how the idea was developed. First, we have to be fully legally compliant. This is really important. It's also unreasonable for anyone to think we make a stock trading system online and big companies, Apple, Google, and so on, jump right away on, issue their stocks on the system. But on the other hand, investors, they want the full plate and the full service right away. So you have to start giving them what they want, the investors, the client investors. So you have to give them access to every stock. There it comes the escrow fund in. The escrow fund buys stocks on the normal market, digitalize them, puts in fractions so that also small investors can make the diversification and can work with it. So it will be fractionized, it has to be legally compliant, and this fund also, the escrow fund, will split up right from the beginning when you buy a stock, different things. From the stock in little subunits, also split up the voting rights for the stock, split up the dividend payments from the stock. So you can let it combined on the blockchain, or you can later on use it for different derivatives and sell only one part of the stock. The escrow fund is just like a reservoir. When there is more trading and more stocks needed in the system, we will get it from outside. When there is stocks liquidated and less stock in our system, we will of course sell outside to provide the liquidity. So every token is guaranteed by a stock within the escrow fund. This came then, of course, after we saw this, we have the derivative system. So what is with a derivative? Dividends are paid. So we have to give the dividends to the right person. So we needed cashier functions to basically give the dividends as IOUs tokenized to this. This soon comes in. Then you have dividends in euros, dollars, all the currencies in the world. So there will be, of course, immediately foreign exchange trading. People want to exchange $1 million to €1 million. So this has to be possible also, and is also within our system, foreseen that it happens. Now the big question, how the miners make money, how the investors make money. Of course, there is a minimum fee, and the fee can go up to 1/4 percentage point per transaction. The difference, how the fee is applied is, let's assume 1,000 Apple shares would be traded against 1,000 Google shares. Okay, I know there's different value and so on, but mathematically it would be just traded. The management fund would just take 2 stocks, 2 tokens out of this transaction, and has now 4 tokens in, 2 Apple tokens, 2 Google tokens. Like this, the management fund, which by itself is tokenized, goes up in value and becomes basically an asset-based cryptocurrency, which is based on productivity. Of course, our system will also allow to buy tokens with every cryptocurrency, which then will be exchanged to currencies and so on. Methodology, I don't want to go in. Here is basically the chain structure and the subchain structure. You see here also that we allow other players, banks and so on, to build their own infrastructure from clearing houses and so on to come in and use just our blockchain, because the management fund will still make the money. They make they make a 1/4 percentage point. So if we take it from their side or our side, when any trading company would like to use the system, they can use it, and we saw already interest from different players during we presented this in Davos this year. Now, here comes something, why we have to make our own blockchain, why we have to change something on the blockchain. Yes, the blockchain has to be robust, it has to be quick. You have to make also your own consensus algorithm. I don't want to go here into it, as this would go far too technical, but we have a consensus algorithm which is not based on proof of work, which is more electricity, which by this is not so cost intensive, and keeps still the things decentralized to the highest extent. So now I derive from the main thing. As you saw in the beginning, I spoke about the news. As we also allow ICOs coming in the system we have to inform consumers about news. So we launched the news platform first. Why? Because the news platform functions like this: independent news sources put the news up, basically a press release, a bail bond is done to the news sources, then it goes to the public, to the reporters, news outlets. Bounty hunters look if it's correct or not. If it's not correct, they can collect the bounty. Money makes people function, and this keeps the people informed about littler ICOs and so on. But this also, as we spoke with different news outlets, that is interesting for them to test, to buy news on it. Why we start with this? Because we can test the blockchain. We can test all the technology. The computer really doesn't care if we try, if it's now a derivative which has a margin call, or if it's a news story which we put in bounty. It's the same functionality underlining. This technology allows us to bulletproof and test our system prior to hooking up the mutual funds, the escrow funds, and every other funds. I see my time goes off. 1 second. Testing. Yeah. We have several competitors, and The biggest difference between our competitors is all the competitors don't see the necessity to really connect to the traditional market to be able immediately to offer the consumers the full product. Thank you very much. This is only it. My information here. If you have some questions, please feel free to email me, see me after the show, and I'm happy to hear from you. Thank you for your attention.